Hey Quarantines, it's Bronwyn, and this is my assistant Fig. Oh my goodness, she's scared. And this is the first edition of QuaranTeen Reads. Super excited. Today I've chosen 9 ebooks, and they're all freely available on our library website, linked below, csllibrary.org. I found books that looked good to me, so like I always say at the library, I didn't write them. I'd love to hear what you think in the comments below, but if you don't like them, I will not be offended. So let's dive into the intrigue factor for each of these 9 books. Here we go. Book 1 is by Marcus Zusak. It's called The Bridge of Clay. And what is the intrigue factor, you ask? Marcus Zusak wrote The Book Thief, and that was an excellent book, and I'm just really excited to see what he has to do next. When Taya accidentally resurrects her brother Fox from the dead, she learns she is different from other witches in her family. Her gift for necromancy means that she's a bone witch, a title that makes her feared and ostracized by her community. That sounds pretty cool. Book 2 is called The Bone Witch, and if you know me a little bit, you know that I'm kind of intrigued by stories about witchcraft. I love the history of witchcraft in Europe and the US, so for me, the intrigue factor is just really in the subject matter. And The Bone Witch is also part of a fantasy trilogy, and we have 1 and 2 in the series, so if you like it, you can also read another one, which is great when you have time to kill. Book 3 is called The Marrow, Thieves, and it's by Cherie Dimaline. And the intrigue factor for me is actually, this is the one that I read, and I'm gonna tell you a secret. I'm a librarian, but I have been in a huge reading slump. I've had books almost finished and then abandoned them. So this was actually the book that got me out of my reading slump, and it was an awesome dystopia from a super unique perspective. It's about Indigenous people in Canada. I highly recommend it. Book 4, Realistic Fiction for the Win. This one is called Lauren Yanofsky Hates the Holocaust by Leanne Leiberman. Please excuse me as I read the summary. Lauren Yanofsky doesn't want to be Jewish anymore. Her father, a noted Holocaust historian, keeps giving her Holocaust memoirs to read, and her mother doesn't understand why Lauren hates the idea of Jewish youth camps and family vacations to Holocaust memorials. But when Lauren sees some of her friends, including Jesse, a cute boy she likes, playing Nazi war games, she is faced with a terrible choice: betray her friends or betray her heritage. And this is a book about religious identity and being brave, so it looks like it would be a really great read. Book 5, I Am Not Your Perfect Mexican Daughter by Erika L. Sanchez. So another one where the intrigue factor is that it's a story about cultural heritage. This one is billed as The Absolutely True Diary of a Part-Time Indian meets Jane the Virgin. I loved The Absolutely True Diary of a Part-Time Indian by Sherman Alexie, and I really like Jane the Virgin. So those two things mixed together, I'm ready to read it. Book 6 is in the thriller mystery category, and for me the intrigue factor is that I've already read it and I really loved it, and that it is a thriller and it's really great psychological suspense. We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. I don't want to say too much because it's really one of those books where you have to read it. It was one that I couldn't put down. Book 7 is One of Us is Lying by Karen McManus. And the intrigue factor for me is that my colleague Katie Bazaire told me to read it, and it's a thriller and it looks really, really good. Pay close attention and you might solve this. On Monday afternoon, 5 students at Bayview High walk into detention. Bronwyn, the brain, is Yale-bound and never breaks a rule. That sounds like so much like me, except that I did not go to Yale. Addie, the beauty, is the picture-perfect homecoming princess. Nate, the criminal, is already on probation for dealing. Cooper, the athlete, is the all-star baseball pitcher. And Simon, the outcast, is the creator of Bayview High's notorious gossip app. Only Simon never makes it out of that classroom. Do you want to read it now? I want to read it now. So books 8 and 9 go really well together because they are light, fluffy romance. So book 8 is Tweet Cute, and it's a fresh, irresistible rom-com from debut author Emma Lord about the chances we take, the paths life can lead us on, and how love can be found in the opposite place you expected. And it looks like a nice, quirky teen romance. The other book is Making a Play by Abbi Glines, who is very popular right now. And the intrigue factor for me is that it is billed as a southern soap opera with football, cute boys, and pickup trucks. So a lot like my own life, and I really need to read something that's as close as possible to my own reality right now. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I will be back as soon as I can. Stay safe, quarantines. Peace out. Hey, Bronwyn here, and this is my assistant Fig. She is like terrified and she doesn't want to look at the camera. Look how cute.